When I first started playing Cornhole, I was by far the worst player in my friend group. I practiced alone every single day in my backyard for months and months and still barely got any better. My friends were racking in their first wins at local tournaments, while I still was losing to myself at home, not understanding what I was doing wrong. But looking back, I know exactly what it was. I was making 5 mistakes, some of them that cost me months of wasted practice. But make sure you stick around to mistake number 5. That's the one that almost stopped me from ever showing up to a tournament, and it's a mistake I see hold back a lot of beginners more than the others put together. If you're new to the sport or you've been playing for a while and you feel stuck, these are the 5 things to stop doing right now. Mistake number 1 is trying to learn everything at once. And here's what I was doing. I would go online, YouTube, Facebook, and watch pros play, hitting rolls, cuts, airmails, just all the wild and crazy shots. I'd then head to my buddy's garage and try to replicate these shots one after another without even having the basics understood. I would try all these shots, just bouncing from one advanced shot to the other without even taking the time to actually learn these things. And meanwhile, I still couldn't even throw a flat bag to save my life. And that's the thing, the flat bag is the foundation of the entire game. That's when you start learning control, fast and slow sides, pushes, and just feel of the game itself. And now every shot you see pro and advanced players make, the cuts, the rolls, and the pushes, those were all learned off the fundamentals of the flat bag and are just variations of different shots. For me personally, I was trying to skip the foundation and move immediately into the penthouse. And now there's no wonder why I wasn't improving. When you're just starting out, you should only be working on the basics of the game. A flat bag, a consistent stance and release, your slide, your push shots, your blocks, and your airmails. That's the whole list. If you can't throw a consistent flat bag, there's no reason you should be trying to learn the advanced shots. It's literally the basic and the foundation of the game. The fundamentals and the basics are the base of the game, and even the pros you're watching didn't skip these steps. They took the time and learned the flat bag. They mastered their flat bag so completely that every advanced shot they have is literally just an evolution of the flat bag. They've also been drilling themselves for years and years now on these shots, but everything starts with the fundamentals. Master the flat bag first, and everything else comes from there. Mistake number 2 is the one I wasted the most time on, practicing with no goal. So picture this, I'm a kid in high school with a set of boards in his backyard. I'd grab 5 sets of bags and just throw in this empty board, bag after bag after bag, just sliding them in, thinking I'm practicing. I would do this for hours and hours every single day after school for months. And the entire time, I thought I was practicing, but in reality, I was just throwing, and there's a massive difference between the two, and I wish somebody would have told me that sooner. Looking back, here's what a real practice session looks like. During your practice sessions, start laying intentional blocks. Whether you're throwing them yourself or intentionally laying them on the board, just placing them down, blocks are a real way to test your game and start making you think creatively. Whether it's working around the blocks, working through the blocks, or going over the blocks. This is how you can practice some real game scenario, something that people will challenge you in once you're in tournaments. It's not something you think about when you're throwing on an empty board, but working with blocks is the best way you can improve your game when practicing by yourself. Another thing I wish I did when practicing was chasing some misses. That means when a bag lands slightly out of play, but it's workable, I would step out. That means when you miss a bag, but it's still sort of in play. Another thing you can do during your practice sessions is start chasing your misses. I'm not saying go for everything, but if a bag lands slightly out of play, but you can still grab it, I would go and take that shot every single time. And what I mean is if you have the chance, step out and start chasing your bags, bringing them closer and closer to the hole. This will build your confidence and your comfortability chasing bags that are out of play during tournaments and working them back to the hole. Some misses take a few shots to get them to the hole, and you're not going to get every single bag on one shot, so learning to trust and have patience bringing bags into the hole is a huge part of your game. And again, stepping out and trying different shots during practice is the best way to feel more comfortable when you step into a tournament. Another thing you should start doing while practicing is challenging yourself and setting goals. Whether it's beating your personal record of how many straight bags you can slide in or how many airmails you can hit in a row. Keeping these in mind and chasing these goals during practice is a good way to continue to push yourself day after day to get these goals and reach for bigger ones. But the best thing you can do for practice is throw against another player whenever you can. Solo practice will only take you so far, and the second you're throwing against another player, no matter their skill level, is the second everything changes. You'll start to feel a little bit of in-game pressure. That's going to be a good thing for when it comes to tournament time. Playing against someone else will challenge you in a few ways. It'll change your timing, it'll change your shot strategy, it'll just change the overall flow of the practice session as a whole. Once you feel even a little bit ready, go sign up for your local tournament, show up and compete. I don't care how bad you think you are, show up and challenge yourself against different players. Tournaments of any level is where practice is going to get tested. It's where you're going to find out what actually works and what doesn't work under pressure, and you're going to find the real weaknesses and strengths of your game. You learn from every tournament and you implement those things into your next practice session. You can't learn everything in the yard, and I learned that the hard way. And mistake number 3, stop comparing yourself to other players. Now let me show you where this showed up for me. When me and my friends were first starting to play this game, they were picking up wins at local tournaments while I was still losing to myself at home. I remember watching one of them. He was always at the top and showing up consistently. He was by far the best player in our group and picked up the game a lot faster than all of us. While I was still getting smoked at every single event, sitting there wondering, what am I doing wrong? But nothing. I was just on my own timeline. This mistake is sneaky because it feels productive. You see another player pick up this game fast, and you start thinking to yourself, why am I not there yet? You then watch somebody who's been playing this game for years, and you get discouraged after comparing your 1 month self to their years of reps. None of that helps you. Zero of it. Play your own game, throw your own style, and improve at your own pace. Some people will pick up this game after a month, but for me, it took almost a complete year before I even felt like I knew what I was doing. But pushing through and refusing to give up is the only reason why I was able to compete at the professional level, traveling the world to compete in tournaments, and now even build a brand around the game. Literally none of that would have happened if I would have quit because my buddy started winning first and I was the worst in the group. Your progress is your progress. Don't outsource your confidence to somebody else's timeline. Mistake number 4, stop obsessing over bags. I spent way more time than I want to admit researching bags, watching bag review videos when I was still just bad at throwing. None of that made me better, it just made me a more educated, bad thrower. Beginners get stuck on things like, what bag's the best? What's the fastest? What bags are the pros throwing? But none of that actually matters. The players make the bags, not the other way around. If you can't throw a flat bag with one set, you're not going to throw a flat bag with the other. Say there was one specific set of bags that was way above the rest. Sure, right at the gate, you might throw better with those bags, but in reality, it's actually hiding the things that you need to work on. Instead of always researching and searching for the best bags, here's what I would do instead. Go to local tournaments and just try other people's bags. This community is so welcoming that most people will be more than happy to let you throw a few sets of their bags. Feel what's out there, try different materials, try different speeds, and find what you like and what works for your throw. Once you find what bag works for you, the one you're the most comfortable and most confident with, that's when you can start shopping and look for your next set of bags. Mistake number 5, and I'm putting this one last because it's the most important one on the entire list. Worrying about letting your partner down, worrying about what the guys on the other side of the board are thinking, showing up to a tournament terrified that you're going to suck in front of a room full of people. I see this all the time at local events. Trust me, I've been there myself. You walk in, you feel nervous because you don't want to be the person that lets a partner down or the reason your team loses. You miss a few bags, then you start ripping yourself apart because you feel like you don't deserve to be there. You then continue to tell yourself that your partner is judging you, the players are judging you, but in reality, none of that's true. Even if you are the reason your team loses, I need everybody watching this to understand something. Nobody in this game is judging you. I mean that. I played in locals, regionals, nationals, and even pro level events, and the one thing that is true at every single level of this game is everybody that's in this community has been at the same stage of the game that you are. They all walked into the first tournaments not knowing what they were doing, they all missed bags they shouldn't have, and they all got through it because somebody else showed them grace while they were still figuring it out. This is the mistake that keeps people from even starting. I've met players at events who told me they almost didn't even show up. They almost turned around in the parking lot because they didn't want to show up and be bad at something in public. Don't do that. Don't let that stop you. Your partner isn't judging you. The guys across the board aren't judging you. We've all been that player that missed a bag they probably shouldn't have, but we all had to learn somehow. You showing up is 100% what matters. The reps will come and the improvements are going to come. But none of it's going to happen if you let the, oh, I don't want to look bad, talk you out of the door. Just show up, throw bags. If you miss, just continue to keep throwing bags. That's it. That's literally the entire game. So 5 mistakes. Learn the basics before the advanced stuff. Practice with a goal, not just reps. Stop comparing your progress to other players. Stop obsessing over which bags are the best. And mistake number 5, stop letting the fear of looking bad stop you from showing up. Skip these 5 things and you will be years ahead of where I was when I first started out. But honestly, if you take one thing from this entire video, take mistake number 5. Show up, miss the bag, throw another one. That is the entire game. By the time you're watching this, I'm on the other side of the planet for 5 weeks of Cornhole in Australia. The kid who used to practice alone in his backyard is now traveling the world to compete in tournaments, and it's all thanks to this game. But none of this would have happened if I never started throwing bags in my yard or ever showed up to my first tournament knowing full well I was gonna suck. Subscribe if you want to come along for the ride. I'm going to be documenting vlogs and other challenges from events and showing what a life in this crazy game looks like. And if you're still on the fence about your first local event, this is your sign to sign up. We'll catch you in the next one.